The airplane begins to kind of wallow. The pilot pulls back even more on the nose. That aggravates the whole thing. You get this waddle into the ground, power on stall until it impacts the ground.
On a seemingly ordinary, clear afternoon, under the bright, unobstructed sun, Air India Flight AI-171, a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, stood ready on the tarmac. It was prepared for its routine journey, a flight that promised nothing more than a standard trip across continents. Passengers bustled about, eager to reach their destination. The destination? London, departing from the bustling city of Ahmedabad, a major route, frequently flown, connecting India to the United Kingdom. The Boeing 787 Dreamliner, a marvel of modern aviation, known for its fuel efficiency and passenger comfort, was carrying 230 passengers, each with their own stories, hopes, and reasons for travel. The cabin was filled with anticipation, and 12 crew, highly trained professionals dedicated to ensuring the safety and comfort of everyone on board. The pilots completed their pre-flight checks meticulously, going through each item on their extensive checklist. Every system was scrutinized. With everything in order, the aircraft taxied smoothly towards the runway, preparing for takeoff. The engines spooled up, a deep rumble vibrating through the plane. At 1:39 p.m., the aircraft lifted off gracefully, soaring into the sky, everything appearing normal. The ascent was smooth, the weather clear, and the journey seemed to be unfolding as planned. Within minutes, however, the situation began to unravel. The ordinary flight would soon turn catastrophic, an unimaginable tragedy waiting to unfold. No one, not the passengers, not the crew, not even air traffic control, could have foreseen that this journey, which began with such promise, would end in unspeakable tragedy. The disaster struck just moments after departure, leaving investigators baffled and the world in mourning. The crash would ultimately claim 241 lives, a devastating loss that reverberated around the globe. Against all odds, there was only one survivor, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit amidst unimaginable horror. The event left a community in shock, grappling with grief and searching for answers in the wake of such profound devastation. This is not just a story of loss and sorrow, but a complex narrative of human endeavor and technological failure. It is a story of the relentless pursuit of truth, as investigators work tirelessly to piece together the events that led to this catastrophe. It's a story about the unwavering commitment to improving safety in aviation, ensuring that lessons are learned and future tragedies are prevented. We'll meticulously follow the timeline of events, examining each critical moment leading up to the crash. We'll delve into the investigation, exploring the evidence and the theories that emerged as investigators sought to understand the cause. And ultimately, we'll uncover the crucial lessons learned from this disaster, lessons that continue to shape aviation safety protocols to this day. Flight AI-171, a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, embarked on what seemed like a typical journey. The aircraft, meticulously maintained and cleared for takeoff, began its ascent into the vast expanse of the sky. Little did the passengers and crew know, this routine departure would soon turn into a harrowing sequence of events. The initial moments were filled with the hum of the engines and the gentle vibrations of the aircraft as it accelerated down the runway. At 1:39 p.m., the aircraft gracefully lifted off the ground, climbing into the sky as usual. The sun glinted off its wings as it ascended, a symbol of hope and adventure for those on board. The initial climb was smooth, the pilots expertly guiding the aircraft through the designated flight path. The city below gradually shrunk, replaced by a canvas of clouds and the promise of distant horizons. 2 minutes later, a loud bang startled passengers and crew. The sudden sharp noise reverberated through the cabin, instantly shattering the sense of calm. Conversation ceased, and a wave of unease washed over everyone as they tried to discern the source of the disturbance. Some passengers exchanged worried glances, while others peered out the windows, searching for any visual clues. At just 625 feet, the situation became critical. The aircraft struggled to maintain altitude, its engines straining against an unseen force. The pilots, now facing an emergency, fought to regain control, their expertise and training put to the ultimate test. Every second counted as they navigated the precarious situation, aware of the lives entrusted to their care. The pilots issued a mayday at 1:42 p.m., their final transmission. The distress call, a desperate plea for assistance, crackled through the airwaves, alerting air traffic control to the unfolding crisis. The urgency in their voices conveyed the gravity of the situation, a stark realization that time was running out. It was a moment of intense pressure, a race against fate. The aircraft stopped climbing and began a rapid descent. The ground rushed towards them with alarming speed, the once distant landscape now looming large. The pilots wrestled with the controls, desperately trying to avert the inevitable. The passengers braced themselves, their hopes dwindling with each passing second. Air traffic controllers watched helplessly as the plane vanished from radar. The blip on the screen disappeared, replaced by a void that mirrored the growing sense of dread in the control room. They knew with chilling certainty that the situation had reached its tragic conclusion. The silence that followed was deafening, broken only by the hushed whispers of disbelief and despair. At 1:44 p.m., the Dreamliner crashed into Nagar, a densely populated urban area. The impact sent shockwaves through the community, shattering the tranquility of everyday life. The once familiar streets were transformed into a scene of chaos and devastation, forever etched in the memories of those who witnessed the tragedy. Striking a building at BJ Medical College, the collision with the building amplified the destruction, turning a place of healing into a scene of unimaginable horror. The hopes and dreams of countless individuals were extinguished in an instant, leaving behind a void that could never be filled. The resulting explosion and fire devastated the area. Flames engulfed the wreckage, casting a dark shadow over the surrounding landscape. The acrid smell of smoke filled the air, a grim reminder of the lives lost and the futures stolen. Emergency responders raced against time, battling the inferno and searching for survivors amidst the debris. In less than 5 minutes, a routine flight ended in disaster, a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the unpredictable nature of fate. The events of that day would forever be etched in the annals of aviation history, a testament to the importance of safety, vigilance, and the unwavering pursuit of knowledge to prevent such tragedies from ever happening again. The scene was one of utter devastation. Twisted metal, shattered plastic, and the remnants of what was once a soaring aircraft were strewn across the landscape. The air was thick with the smell of jet fuel and the acrid scent of burning materials. It seemed impossible that anyone could have survived such a catastrophic event, yet amidst this carnage, a miracle unfolded. One passenger, against all odds, had survived: Vishu. He emerged from the wreckage, a solitary figure against a backdrop of destruction, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Vishu had been seated in 11A, a location that would ultimately prove to be his saving grace. His seat was positioned near an emergency exit, a crucial detail that would play a significant role in his miraculous escape. He recalled the moments leading up to the crash with a chilling clarity. There was a sudden, deafening bang, a sound that ripped through the relative calm of the cabin. But what was particularly striking was the absence of smoke inside the cabin immediately following the impact. This detail would later become a key piece of the puzzle for investigators. As the plane crashed, the world turned upside down. The force of the impact was immense, a violent jolt that threw passengers and debris alike. In the aftermath, his seat location, so close to the emergency exit, became a beacon of hope amidst the chaos. The way the fuselage broke apart, the structural integrity failing under the immense stress, was both terrifying and, in a strange twist of fate, instrumental in his survival. Miraculously, the fragmentation of the aircraft created a survivable pocket around his seat, a small haven within the surrounding destruction. Dazed but alive, Vishu found himself in a state of disbelief, struggling to comprehend the reality of what had just transpired. Summoning his remaining strength, Vishu managed to push open the damaged emergency exit, a portal to freedom in the heart of the wreckage. He didn't hesitate. He knew he had to get away from the plane and escape on foot, putting as much distance as possible between himself and the mangled remains of the aircraft. Emergency responders, arriving on the scene with sirens blaring, found him quickly, a beacon of hope amidst the despair. Recognizing the urgency of the situation, they rushed him to the hospital, where he could receive the medical attention he desperately needed. His account of the events leading up to the crash became vital to investigators, providing crucial insights into the sequence of events. He meticulously recounted the sudden bang, the perplexing absence of smoke, and the ensuing chaos that unfolded within the cabin. Vishu's survival highlights the extraordinary circumstances that can sometimes arise in the face of unimaginable tragedy. It underscores the critical importance of aircraft design, safety regulations, and the strategic placement of emergency exits. Even in the midst of utter catastrophe, when all seems lost, the possibility of survival, however slim, remains a testament to human endurance and the unpredictable nature of fate. The crash turned Nagar into a disaster zone. The aircraft's impact and explosion destroyed buildings and ignited massive fires. Emergency teams struggled to reach the site through debris and crowds. Their priorities: extinguish the fire, search for survivors, and secure the area. The discovery of Vishu offered a brief glimmer of hope. As the fire was contained, the scale of the tragedy became clear, and the site became a major investigation zone. Investigators from India, Boeing, and international agencies arrived quickly. Their first task: recover the black boxes, which were found in the tail section. These recorders held crucial data on the flight's final moments. Teams mapped and documented every piece of wreckage, focusing on engines and flight controls. They examined the engines for signs of failure and checked the flaps and control surfaces. The crew's training, maintenance records, and the Mayday call were all scrutinized. Radar and flight data were synchronized to reconstruct the timeline. Every detail was analyzed to uncover the cause. Investigators considered several scenarios: dual engine failure, fuel system malfunction, or flight control issues. The loud bang and rapid loss of altitude suggested a catastrophic mechanical problem. A dual engine failure at low altitude is almost always fatal. Flap malfunction or asymmetry could have caused a sudden loss of lift or control. A failure in the fly-by-wire system might have left the pilots unable to control the aircraft. Data from the black boxes and wreckage would be key to pinpointing the exact cause. Each theory was tested against the evidence. Investigators looked to similar accidents for clues. US Airways Flight 1549 survived a dual-engine failure by gliding to the Hudson, but at a higher altitude. Other incidents, like Qantas Flight 32, showed how experienced crews and robust design can avert disaster. The low altitude of AI-171 left no margin for recovery. Past accidents highlighted the importance of engine inspection, wildlife management, and emergency training. Each case provided lessons to narrow down the likely causes. Comparing incidents helps investigators understand what went wrong and how to prevent it. History is a crucial guide for aviation safety. Every crash drives change in aviation. The AI-171 disaster will lead to stricter maintenance checks and improved crew training for complex emergencies. Emergency response plans for urban crash sites will be reviewed and strengthened. The survivors' experience will inform future aircraft design, especially around exits and seat safety. Lessons from this tragedy will ripple through regulations, procedures, and engineering. The goal: ensure such a disaster never happens again. The legacy of those lost will be safer skies for all. The loss of AI-171 is a stark reminder of aviation's responsibilities. Each accident prompts exhaustive investigation and global collaboration to improve safety. The survivor's story and the lessons learned honor the victims. Progress in aviation comes from learning, not accepting failure. The final report will bring closure, but the true legacy is in unseen improvements that protect future travelers. Every accident shapes a safer future. The journey toward perfect safety continues, one lesson at a time.